I have been working on my indie game Atlanta TD for over 2 years in my free time. And recently I made a video talking about how I sold it to a studio for $1 whole. If you haven't watched the video, check it out here. Now this seemed to upset some people who thought I was getting ripped off. That or they were upset at the clickbait. I'm sorry. And just to clarify from the previous video, as I feel there's a bit of confusion on it, the studio that bought it isn't mine. I don't own the studio, I only work there as an employee. But there were a few comments people left saying that I got ripped off or that I was making a bad decision. So I thought I should make this video to sort of fill the gaps and explain why I'm doing it. And of course, I'm always open to hearing thoughts and opinions, so if you get to the end of this video and still think I'm being ripped off, then blast me in the comments. Let's get into it. I am a full-time game developer. That is my 9 to 5. During those hours, I am at work doing whatever I need to for work. And for the last year and a half, that was Neon Squad Tactics. And although my mind sometimes drifts into personal projects or coming up with ideas for things to do, those hours are dedicated to work. When I get off work, there are a lot of things that I like to do. Eat, go to the gym, go for a swim or surf, hang out with friends. I'm in front of the computer for the better part of 8 hours straight. So as soon as I finish work, there's a good chance I don't want to stay sitting in front of my computer. So development on personal projects is slow. So slow in fact that it could take months to finish one system. And for the duration of Atlanta TD, that has been the case. I was cutting corners and just saying things were good enough. And in reality, it isn't good enough. It's nowhere near good enough. But for the time I could work on this and the hours that I could commit, it had to be good enough because I didn't really have any other choice. There were so many ideas I had for this game in the early days that I was cutting because I just knew working on it would mean an extra 50 or 100 hours to create the system. Now, I'm a visual learner, so let me break this down visually. There are 168 hours in a week. Let's say I sleep 8 hours a night. That's 56 hours gone. Then I'm working 8 hours a day, Monday to Friday. That's another 40 hours. Then meal times, let's say that's another 2 hours each day. So 14 hours throughout the week. And like I said, after work, I'm going to take a break from the computer for a couple hours. So that's another 10 hours gone. Then miscellaneous activities, socializing, playing futsal, going for a surf, whatever it is, we'll say 20 hours throughout the week. I'm left with 28 hours, but in order to use that effectively, that 28 hours has to be sunk into the development of a personal project. And if you've ever done game development, sometimes it's not as easy as just picking the project back up from where you left off. Some days it can take your mind a few hours to really get into the groove of working, so there's a lot of lost time there. And although I love game development, I'm also committed to working on this channel and putting out consistent videos. So a good chunk of my spare time within that 28 hours goes into working on content for this channel. Whether that's scripting, editing, research, or recording, there are a lot of hours that goes into making just one of these videos. So takeaway is, I worked on this project when I could, but there was so little I could do effectively that to get it into the state I would have wanted it to be in would have taken years. When I pitched the project to my studio and a conversation came to sell it and work on it full time, that was my consideration. Whatever the number is that they give me, I am not at a loss here. This project could have taken years before it got released, and there exists a very possible reality this game may never have gotten released. But giving it over to a studio where a full-time commitment can be made while ensuring that I am still being paid my salary, to me is kind of a no-brainer. It also means that whatever the outcome, this project will get released. In extension to that, bringing it into the studio, I'm given so many extra resources that I don't have to pay out of my pocket. I have co-workers who are helping me write the story. The company director is getting contractors in to do the art and music. Again, something that I would have had to do myself and most likely had to pay out of my pocket for. And now I can put in extra effort to ensure that my systems and content will be good enough. Let's look at it on the opposite end. If I was given something like $50,000 for the game, but it meant I could no longer work on it, I would most likely just stop working a full-time job for a while. I'd probably just start up a different project and use that money to survive my daily living costs while working full-time for myself. So my situation really wouldn't be that different. And some people might be asking, but what if you could have the $50,000 and be working on the game? And of course that is a valid opinion and thought, but at the end of the day, I am not doing this for the money. The money is nice, and the fact that royalties are put into the contract is a huge bonus, but at the end of the day, I'm doing it for the love of the game. Development. I enjoy what I do. In fact, I love what I do, and not many people can say that confidently. And to get an opportunity to just work on my own project full-time while being paid a salary, just feels like a dream, and I recognize how privileged this position is. And like I said in the previous video, I am doing whatever I can to make sure that I soak in the moment and put out the best project possible. I hope I answered the big sort of hard-hitting questions on this, but if there's stuff I didn't cover or things you're still confused on, leave a comment down below or jump into my Discord channel and ask me through there. Before I wrap up, I want to thank you guys for the support in the previous video. Even though there were some mixed opinions, I apologize. I'm a little clickbait critter, but I didn't mean to mislead or upset anyone with the outcome. Like I said, development of this project is in full force, and I'll be streaming development on Twitch very soon. So give me a follow there and subscribe to my channel to be a part of this project. Thanks for watching today's video, and I'll catch you guys very soon.